Today on Hectic History, we're taking a journey through time to check out some of the most jaw-dropping, over-the-top architectural wonders of the Persian Empire. Imagine a world where kings ruled from palaces that could rival any modern-day luxury resort. So sit back and relax as we look at the top 5 architectural wonders of ancient Persia. Starting off at number 5 is the tomb of Cyrus the Great. Cyrus might have built one of the biggest empires the world had ever seen, but when it came to his final resting place, he kept it super humble. He was a king who could have built a golden palace to rest in, but instead he went for a simple stone structure. Legend has it that even Alexander the Great, who conquered Persia, paid his respects and ordered repairs to keep it in top shape. I mean, you know you're a legend when the guy who took over your empire wants to keep your tomb protected. 2,000 years later, that tomb is still standing, proving that sometimes keeping it simple is the way to go. Rolling in at number 4 is Apadana Palace. This wasn't just any palace, it was where the Persian king hosted his biggest, fanciest gatherings. Imagine an enormous hall held up by 36 towering columns, each taller than a giraffe on stilts, decorated with bulls and lions just to remind everyone who's in charge. The entire palace was built on a giant platform so Darius the Great could literally look down on his guests. You could say he was on a whole other level, literally. The Apadana was basically the Persian Empire's red carpet where deals were made, allies were impressed, and yes, wine was probably spilled. If you're going to rule the world, you might as well do it with style. Coming in at number 3 is Naqsh-e Rustam, one of Persia's coolest and definitely most dramatic cemeteries. This cemetery had 4 massive tombs carved into a cliffside. It's like the Mount Rushmore of ancient kings. Shaped like giant crosses, the tombs had ancient kings like Darius the Great and King Xerxes. Each tomb entrance is decorated with massive carvings showing off the royal highlights from battle scenes to ceremonies. It's like an ancient Persian Instagram feed but carved into stone. Our runner-up at number 2, we have Pasargadae, the original capital of the Persian Empire and the ultimate VIP hangout for ancient royalty. It was a paradise on earth, designed by none other than Cyrus the Great himself. This wasn't just any city, it was meticulously planned, with stunning gardens, palaces, and even an impressive irrigation system. Its royal gardens were so lush and green that it made Persians forget that they were in the middle of a desert. And finally, at number 1, the crown jewel of Persian architecture, Persepolis. Built by Darius the Great around 518 BCE, Persepolis was like the Las Vegas of the ancient world, but with way more stone and no slot machines. Persepolis was loaded with monumental palaces, audience halls, and even a treasury, because what's a power city without a bit of bling? Every wall was carved with scenes of mythical creatures. It was a masterpiece of architecture, art, and intimidation. Persepolis was so impressive that it even caught the eye of Alexander the Great. But one night Alexander had one too many drinks and decided it was a good idea to burn the whole thing down. But even in ruins, Persepolis is still one of the most epic ancient cities you'll ever see, a timeless reminder that showed just how the Persians ruled the ancient world. So there you have it. The Persian Empire didn't just rule an empire, they built one and they made sure it looked incredible. Whether it was grand palaces, innovative water systems, or tombs built to last an eternity, these architectural wonders have stood the test of time. If you're as blown away by ancient Persia as we are, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on what historic video you would like to see next.